Imagine this, America. It's a golden Georgia afternoon. The kind where the sun melts into the horizon like honey over asphalt. Malik Evans, 39, a financial shark with a Rolex glinting on his wrist, cruises down a lonely highway in his jet black BMW X5. He's buzzing, fresh off a pitch in Atlanta that landed him a seven-figure deal, the kind of win that makes you feel untouchable. His tailored suit still crisp, his Italian silk tie a power move that sealed the handshake. But then his GPS chimes, take the shortcut through Pine Hollow. Population 12,000. A speck on the map. No big deal, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. The Pine Hollow welcome sign looms ahead. Rusted, peeling like a warning scratched in blood. Malik's gut twists, but he shrugs it off. He's got places to be. The fuel gauge hovers at a third of a tank, enough to get home, but tight. Then he spots it. A gas station so run down it looks like it's been rotting since the 80s. Flickering neon buzzes overhead as he pulls in, tires crunching gravel. He steps out, all 6 feet of him radiating boardroom swagger, and the air shifts, like the town's holding its breath. 2 old geezers on splintered chairs outside the convenience store stop jawing, their eyes locking on him like hawks on a rabbit. A woman hauling groceries into her beat-up SUV freezes, then bolts, slamming her door so hard it echoes. Malik adjusts his tie, keeps his cool. Years of high-stakes deals have taught him how to play it smooth. But he feels it, the invisible crosshairs on his back. Inside, the clerk, a scrawny dude with a beard like a bad Craigslist ad, grabs Malik's platinum card with fingers that twitch. Just passing through, huh? He rasps, voice dripping with something dark. Not curiosity. Yeah, man, Malik replies, steady as steel. Fuel up and I'm out. The clerk swipes the card, hands it back without a glance, muttering, pumps ready. But his eyes never leave Malik, like he's sizing up a mark. Back outside, Malik pumps gas, the click-click of the nozzle slicing through dead silence. His phone buzzes. Aisha, his big sister. Texting, how'd it go? He types fast. Nailed it. Taking a shortcut, town's creepy as hell though. Before he can hit send, tires screech. A cop cruiser tears into the lot. Red and blue lights slashing the dusk like knives. 2 officers explode out. Harrington, a linebacker-sized thug with a buzz cut, and Voss, a lean weasel with dead eyes, guns drawn, barrels zeroed on Malik. Hands up. Out of the car, now. Harrington roars, his Glock steady. Malik's pulse slams into overdrive, but he raises his hand slow, deliberate. What's going on, officer? I'm justy. Shut your mouth. Harrington cuts him off, lunging forward. He slams Malik face first into the BMW's hood, metal bites into his cheek, pain flaring. You think you're slick, huh? Voss circles around, snapping on rubber gloves, grinning like a hyena. Then he holds up a baggie, white powder glinting inside. Well, what's this hotshot? That's not mine. Malik snaps. Voice sharp despite the ache in his ribs. You planted that, you've got no warrant. Harrington's laugh is a gut punch. Warrant? I saw it in plain sight, boy. Then the real blow lands. A fist cracks into Malik's spine, dropping him to his knees. Gravel digs into his shins, ripping his $2,000 pants. Before he can catch his breath, cold steel presses against his neck. Harrington's gun. One move and I paint this lot with you. He growls, breath hot and sour. Malik grits his teeth, blood trickling from a split lip. You're making a mistake. Voss yanks his arms back, cuffs snapping on so tight they cut skin, red stains bloom on his cuffs. Mistake. Voss sneers. Not, you're just tonight's catch. They haul him up, shoving him into the cruiser. His head bangs the frame, stars exploding in his vision. Through the window, he sees Pine Hollow's folks watching, some shake their heads. Others smirk like it's a damn rerun. The cruiser peels out, sirens wailing, leaving his BMW stranded like a crime scene. Malik's hands flex in the cuffs, blood dripping onto the seat. These small-town predators think they've bagged an easy kill. A black man in a fancy car, ripe for the picking. They don't know who he is. Don't know his sister's the U.S. Attorney General, a woman who'd burn the world down for him. They've just lit a fuse, and it's about to blow their whole rotten game sky high. Stay tuned, America. This isn't just a traffic stop, it's the spark of a revolution. Welcome to Pine Hollow, America. A town that looks like it's stuck in a faded postcard. But don't let the peeling paint fool you. This place isn't sleepy. It's a damn killing floor. Malik Evans didn't just stumble into a bad traffic stop. He walked straight into a machine so cold-blooded it'd make your skin crawl. This isn't about a couple of crooked cops shaking down tourists. No, Pine Hollow's built a whole damn empire on broken lives, and they've been running it like clockwork for years. Picture the setup. Harrington and Voss aren't rogue cowboys. They're foot soldiers in a rigged game. The sheriff, Thomas Reynolds, calls the shots, his badge a license to steal. DA William Clayton's the cleanup guy, turning fake charges into guilty pleas with a shark's grin. And the judges? They're bought and paid for, slamming gavels on innocent folks faster than you can say, cash under the table. Their prey? Travelers with deep pockets, especially black and brown drivers like Malik, who roll into town with nice cars and no local ties. Easy marks, right? Wrong. Here's how it works. That gas station Malik hit? It's a trap house. The clerk's a spotter, sees a shiny BMW, pings the cruiser. Those old geezers on the porch? They're the early warning system, clocking every outsider. The cops swoop in, plant the drugs, always the same baggie, straight from a stash in the station locker, and bam, you're cuffed before you can blink. They've got it down to a science. Fake a taillight bust, slap on resisting arrest if you mouth off, then strip you clean, car, cash, even your damn house if it's in reach. Last year alone, they seized $3 million in drug proceeds from folks who never saw a courtroom. But it gets darker. Fight back? You don't walk out. They've got a body count, 17 suicides in custody over 3 years. All successful types like Malik, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs. Official report says, overdose or hanging. But whisper around town and you'll hear about broken necks and bruises that don't match the story. Pine Hollow doesn't just ruin you, they bury you, then cash the check. The feds give grants for fighting crime, private prisons pay bonuses per head, and everyone from the clerk to the judge gets a slice of the pie. It's a $10 million a year hustle. And they've never lost a beat. Take last month. A tech exec from Charlotte, 35, black guy in a Tesla. Stopped for speeding. 47 in a 45. Drugs found under his seat. He fought the charges. Hired a lawyer. 3 days later, he's dead in a cell, suicide by shoelace. His family's still screaming for answers. Pine Hollow's counting his car's resale value. That's the machine Malik's up against. A meat grinder that chews up lives and spits out profit. But tonight they've bitten off more than they can chew. Malik's not some scared nobody they can vanish into a shallow grave. He's got blood on his cuffs and fire in his gut, and a sister who's about to turn their little kingdom into a war zone. Harrington's laughing in the cruiser. Voss is counting Malik's wallet like it's already his. They don't hear the rumble yet, the sound of their whole rotten world cracking open. This isn't a town, folks. It's a cartel with badges. And it's about to meet its match. Hang tight, Pine Hollow's house of cards is one phone call away from crashing down. Inside Pine Hollow's jail, time drags like a death sentence. Malik Evans sits on a grimy metal bench, his $2,000 suit torn, blood crusting on his lip from Voss's fist. His wrists burn under cuffs so tight they've gouged red rivers into his skin. The cell stinks of piss and despair. A 6x8 concrete coffin with flickering fluorescent lights that buzz like a swarm of flies. Harrington looms outside the bars, twirling a baton, smirking. Nobody's coming for you, city boy. Should have kept your mouth shut. Voss leans against the wall, counting Malik's confiscated cash like it's poker winnings. Fancy car. Fancy car, too bad you're ours now. They've denied him a phone call for hours, taunting him with every jab. Voss steps close, breath sour with cheap coffee, and cracks Malik across the face, whack, sending him sprawling. Keep talking about rights, see where it gets you. Malik wipes blood from his mouth, eyes blazing. You're digging your own grave, man. Harrington laughs, a guttural bark. Grave? Yours is already dug, right next to the last guy who thought he was tough. But then finally they shove a phone through the bars, thinking he's broken, just another notch on their belt. One call, hotshot. Make it quick. Malik's hands shake as he dials, blood smearing the keypad. 3 rings, then a voice cuts through, crisp, commanding like a blade through silk. Malik, talk to me. It's Aisha Evans, 43, U.S. Attorney General, his big sister, a woman who stared down cartels and senators without blinking. They planted drugs, beat me, cuffed me, it's a setup, Malik rasps. Voice tight with pain. Pine Hollow's a damn slaughterhouse, Aisha. A beat of silence, then her tone turns lethal. They touched you. Malik coughs, tasting copper. Yeah. Bad? Her next words are ice and fire. Put the sheriff on. Now. Malik holds out the phone, smirking through the bruises. She wants you, Reynolds. Sheriff Thomas Reynolds swaggers over. His brass badge gleaming under the harsh light, all small-town swagger. This is Sheriff Reynolds. Who's this? This is United States Attorney General Aisha Evans, she snaps. Her voice booming through the receiver like a thunderclap. You've got my brother in chains on fake charges. You've got 10 minutes to uncuff him. Or I'll bury your podunk town under a federal storm you won't survive. Reynolds' face drains to ash, his meaty hand trembling around the phone. Ma'am, there's a mistake. We found narcotics, save it. Aisha cuts him off. Your body cams better work because I'm reviewing every frame. And if Malik's got so much as a scratch, I'll make you wish you'd never pinned on that badge. The line clicks dead. Reynolds staggers back, barking at Harrington. Get him out, move. But it's too late. The night explodes, chopper blades thrum overhead, shaking the station's bones. Floodlights slice through the blacked-out windows as a sleek black helicopter touches down in the parking lot, kicking up dust and gravel. The door slams open. And out steps Aisha, 6 feet of fury in a tailored blazer, heels clicking like gunfire on the concrete. Behind her, an FBI strike team pours out, black vests, rifles up, faces hard as stone. She storms the station, badge flashing like a guillotine. Where's my brother? She bellows, voice cutting through the chaos. Harrington fumbles with keys, Voss bolts for the back door, too slow. Agents swarm, pinning him to the wall with a rifle barrel to his spine. Malik Evans, release him, now. Aisha's command cracks like a whip. Reynolds stammers, sweat pouring. As an agent drags Malik from the cell, bruised, bloody but unbroken. Aisha's eyes lock on him, softening for a split second before turning to steel. She pulls him into a fierce hug, then spins on Reynolds. You're done, Sheriff. This hellhole's finished. I'm tearing it apart, brick by brick. Outside, sirens wail as more feds roll in, SUVs, forensics vans, a full-on invasion. Inside, the cops shrink, their smug grins wiped clean. They thought they'd snagged another victim, just another body for their machine. They didn't count on Aisha, a sister with the power to call down the wrath of God, and the U.S. government in one breath. The walls of Pine Hollow are shaking. Folks, and they're about to come crashing down. Don't go anywhere, this is where the real fireworks start. Buckle up, America, Pine Hollow's just the opening act. What started as a brutal beatdown in a backwater jail cell has blown the lid off something so big, so ugly, it'll make your blood run cold. Aisha Evans and her FBI army aren't just cleaning up one dirty town, they've kicked over a hornet's nest, and the buzz is spreading fast. This isn't a local scam. It's a nationwide plague. A web of corruption so vast it's been choking justice from coast to coast, and Malik's arrest was the match that lit the fuse. Picture the map lighting up. Dozens of Pine Hollows dotting highways like cancer cells. Small towns turned into slaughterhouses for profit. Georgia, Texas, Ohio, you name it, same playbook everywhere. Cops with quotas. DAs with dollar signs in their eyes, judges cashing checks to rubber stamp convictions. Their targets? Travelers like Malik, folks with nice cars, fat bank accounts, and skin that doesn't match the town's picket fence vibe. Black drivers, Latino truckers, anyone who looks out of place. They don't just frame you, they bleed you dry. Cars seized, homes foreclosed. Lives erased, all funneled into a machine that spits out cash and corpses. Aisha's team digs into the station's servers and the dirt spills like a busted dam. Spreadsheets pop up, spreadsheets. People cold, calculated breakdowns of who to hit and how much they're worth. Male, black, 30 to 45, luxury vehicle, $150,000 minimum asset value. They've got racial profiles, arrest quotas. Even preferred routes along I-95 and I-10 highways turned into hunting grounds. Last year, 312 busts across 14 states, $47 million in forfeitures. Half those folks never made it to trial, plea deals or pine boxes, take your pick. But here's where it gets sick, it's not just small-time crooks. The feds find emails encrypted, coded, but cracked wide open, linking Pine Hollow to a who's who of power players. Sheriff Reynolds reports to Regional Resource Management, a private prison giant raking in billions. DA Clayton's got bank deposits from shell companies in the Caymans. And up top, Senator Robert Phillips, Judiciary Committee big shot. signing off on crooked judges like he's picking fantasy football rosters. This isn't a racket. It's a cartel with badges, gavels, and Senate seals. The numbers don't lie. 200 wrongful arrests in 5 years, 63 suicides in custody, all successful minorities, all with assets snatched before the ink dried on their booking sheets. One file chills Malik to the bone. A 32-year-old architect from Dallas stopped in a sister town last summer. Drugs found in his Audi, dead in a cell 48 hours later. Official cause, overdose. His widow still fighting for his impounded $80,000 ride. That's the game. Frame him, kill him, cash out. Feds fund it with anti-drug grants. Prisons pay bonuses per warm body. Everyone eats except the victims. And the puppet masters? A shadow crew called the board CEOs with private jets, Wall Street sharks, global moneymen who don't just bend the system, they build it. Pine Hollow was their petri dish, a proof of concept for something bigger, way bigger. Malik's arrest? Just another Tuesday tally. Until he dialed Aisha. Now the web's unraveling. Thread by bloody thread. Agents are pulling all-nighters, tracing wire transfers to Dubai, linking judges to offshore accounts. Every click uncovers more. More towns, more bodies, more millions. Malik stares at the evidence wall: photos, red strings, a map of America bleeding corruption. This isn't a scandal, he mutters, voice low. It's a war. Aisha nods, her jaw tight. And we're just getting started, little bro. These bastards don't know what's coming. The room hums with feds on phones, laptops glowing. Pine Hollow's the spark, but the fire's spreading. Who's at the top of this pyramid? How deep does it go? Stick with us, folks. This isn't just a takedown. It's a reckoning, and it's about to get loud. It's 2 a.m. in Pine Hollow, and the night's about to catch fire. The FBI doesn't knock, they detonate. Flashbangs pop like thunderclaps, shattering the station's windows as glass rains down like jagged confetti. Aisha Evans stands in the parking lot, chopper blades still spinning behind her. Her face carved from steel as she barks into a radio. All teams go now. Black-clad agents storm in, rifles up. Boots pounding concrete. Pine Hollow's corrupt empire is about to get a federal wake-up call. Inside, it's pandemonium. Harrington's barricaded himself in the evidence room, a shotgun trembling in his meaty hands. "You're not taking me," he roars, blasting buckshot through the door. With splinters, an agent dives as pellets graze his vest. "Stay down," a Fed yells. Returning fire. Pop, pop, pop. Rounds through the wall as Harrington scrambles behind a filing cabinet. Voss, the weasel, grabs a lighter and a stack of files, arrest logs, quotas, payoffs, and torches them. Flames lick the air, smoke curling black, but an agent charges through, slamming him face first into the desk. "Evidence secured," he shouts, stomping out the fire with gloved hands. Across 3 states, it's a synchronized blitz. 40 arrests in one brutal sweep. In Texas, Sheriff Reynolds bolts for his pickup, keys jangling, but a sniper's laser dot dances on his chest. He spins, draws a pistol, crack, a Fed's bullet tears through his leg. He collapses, screaming, blood pooling as cuffs snap on. I'm hit, he wails, but the agent's ice cold. Should have run faster. Sheriff. In Ohio, DA William Clayton's caught mid-shred, paper jams in the machine, his $500 tie stained with sweat and ink. This isn't what it looks like, he stammers as feds cuff him, dragging him past his mahogany desk now piled with seized hard drives. Back in Pine Hollow, the chaos peaks. Malik still in his cell, bruised, bleeding, helpless when a shadow slips through the smoke. It's Deputy Klein, a rookie gone rogue, eyes wild with panic. He pulls a shank, its blade glinting under the flickering lights. "You're the problem." "Evans," he snarls, lunging. Malik twists, the steel grazing his arm, blood spraying the wall. "Aisha," he yells, voice raw. The cell door flies open. Aisha storms in, Glock drawn, her blazer flapping like a cape. "Drop it," she thunders. Klein freezes, shank clattering. Her boot cracks his jaw, sending him sprawling. "Touch my brother again and you're a ghost," she growls, hauling Malik up. "You okay?" He nods, wincing. "Yeah, thanks to you." Outside, the lot's a war zone. Siren wails, chopper hum, agents shouting chords over radios. Forensics vans screech in. Tech swarming with laptops and evidence bags. Across the states, it's the same. Judge Blackwood's private jet revs on a Kentucky tarmac. Tires squeal as FBI SUVs block the runway, engines roaring. Out of the plane, Your Honor! An agent bellows, R-15 leveled. Blackwood stumbles down the steps, hands up, his $10,000 suit wrinkled and useless. In Georgia, another precinct burns, cops torch files. But feds kick in doors, saving charred scraps that scream guilt. The hall's insane. Laptops with encrypted emails, ledgers of payoffs. Body cam footage of planted drugs, every piece a nail in Pine Hollow's coffin. Aisha surveys the chaos, Malik at her side, his arm bandaged but his fire intact. They're crumbling, he says. Watching Harrington get dragged out, spitting curses. Aisha's eyes narrow. Not fast enough. This is just the start, 3 states, 40 collars, and we're still pulling threads. An agent jogs up. Breathless, ma'am, we've got Senator Phillips on a wire, Judiciary Committee. He's dirty too. The station's a graveyard now, smoke curls, lights flicker, corrupt cops slump in cuffs. They thought they were untouchable, kings of their twisted fiefdom. But Aisha's cavalry just turned their castle to ash, and the war's spreading. This isn't a raid, folks, it's a massacre of the guilty. And the body count's only climbing. Hang on tight, America, the real bosses are next, and they're sweating bullets. The dust hasn't even settled in Pine Hollow, but the air's already thick with something worse than smoke, fear. Aisha Evans stands in the gutted station, Malik at her side. Watching feds haul out boxes of scorched files and busted laptops. The raids hit hard, 40 arrests, 3 states, a trail of blood and cuffs, but the evidence wall's growing. And it's telling a story that's bigger, darker than anyone expected. This isn't just a network of dirty cops and greedy judges. It's a beast, and Pine Hollow was only its claw. Agent Sarah Mitchell. FBI brass with a stare that could cut glass, slams a decrypted hard drive onto a desk. We've got names, big ones, she says, voice low. Regional Resource Management isn't the top. They're middlemen. She pulls up a file, emails, coded, dripping with menace. One line chills the room. Quota met. Awaiting board approval for Phase 2. Malik leans in, arm still bandaged from Klein's shank. The board? Who the hell's that? Mitchell's jaw tightens. The puppet masters, CEOs, private prison execs, global financiers. They don't just profit from this, they designed it. The feds crack more files, and the picture sharpens, terrifyingly so. Pine Hollow was a lab, a test run for something called Project Legacy. Think dozens of towns like it. Cloned across America, highway traps rigged to snare thousands a year. But it's not just about cash anymore. Spreadsheets map out new detention centers, private, off the books, popping up in rural nowhere from Montana to Mississippi. Projections show 10,000 arrests annually, $2 billion in seized assets. All feeding a prison empire where inmates aren't just numbers, they're inventory. Racial profiles are baked in. Priority targets, minority professionals. Net worth $100,000 plus. It's a blueprint to turn justice into a meat grinder, and it's already greenlit. Aisha's phone buzzes, DOJ intel urgent. They found blueprints, she says, voice tight. 50 facilities. Armed security, no oversight, linked to the board. Malik's eyes narrow. Armed? Like military grade? Mitchell nods grimly. Think Blackwater with bars. And get this, judges are pre-selected. Cops trained in-house. It's a closed loop, arrest, convict, detain, profit. No courts, no appeals. One email mentions attrition protocols, code for disappearing troublemakers. Those 63 suicides? Just the warm-up. Then the kicker lands. An agent bursts in, laptop glowing with a tapped call, Senator Robert Phillips, voice shaky on a burner phone. The board's moving up legacy, Carter's too close. We need containment. Aisha freezes. Carter? That's me. Mitchell's eyes blaze. They know you're digging and they're scared. The call traces to a D.C. law firm, a front for offshore accounts, $300 million shifted in 48 hours, wired to Dubai, Singapore, shell companies with no names, just numbers. The board's not a gang, it's a shadow government, and they're playing for keeps. Back in Pine Hollow, a seized thumb drive spills more, meeting logs encrypted, dated 6 months ago. Legacy secures demographic control. Prisons as economic engines. One entry reads. Another. Judicial compliance guaranteed. Phillips delivers. Malik's voice cuts through the hum of laptops. They're not just locking people up, they're building a damn dynasty. Aisha nods, her face a mask of fury. And Pine Hollow was the prototype. We stopped one, but 50 more are coming. The station's quiet now, but the tension's deafening. Agents huddle, phones ringing, reports flood in from other raids. Similar files, same codenames. The board's reach stretches beyond borders: London banks, Russian oligarchs, whispers of a committee above even Phillips. Malik stares out a shattered window, the night black as oil. How do you fight something this big? Aisha grips his shoulder, fierce. One thread at a time, bro. They're moving, we're faster. Somewhere in D.C., a man in a $5,000 suit watches CNN. Malik's face plastered on screen. His private line rings, a voice cold as death. Legacy's compromised. Neutralize the Evans threat. The man smirks, sweat beading despite the AC. They're ants. We're gods. But his hand shakes as he dials, because ants can topple giants when they swarm. This isn't a cleanup anymore, America, it's a hunt. The board's waking up. And they're pissed. Stay with us. The shadows are moving, and the real war's just begun. The clock's ticking in Pine Hollow. And the corrupt aren't going down quiet, they're going down screaming. It's 4 a.m., the station a hive of feds sifting through evidence, when the first domino falls. A muffled boom rocks the building, windows shatter, lights flicker, and a fireball erupts from the evidence room. Bomb! An agent yells, diving as papers and debris rain down. Smoke chokes the air. Alarms shriek, someone's just torched half the C's files. Aisha Evans, eyes blazing, grabs Malik and pulls him behind a desk. They're erasing it all. She snaps, coughing through the haze. Outside, forensics teams scramble, shrapnel scattered across the lot, a crude IED rigged to a timer. Low grade, but targeted, a tech reports, voice tight. They wanted the hard drives gone. Malik wipes it from his face, arm still throbbing from the shank wound. Who's they? Before Aisha can answer, Agent Mitchell storms in, radio crackling. Intercepted a call, Clayton to a burner. He greenlit something called Protocol Zero. Cleanup crews active. Aisha's jaw clenches. They're panicking, hitting us hard. Across town, the counterattack's in full swing. Lisa Parker, Clayton's assistant turned whistleblower, steps out of an interview room, pale, shaky, spilling secrets about quotas and payoffs. She doesn't see the shadow tailing her, a corrections officer. Hand tucked under his jacket, syringe glinting with a lethal dose. He's 3 steps away when Malik spots him through the chaos. Aisha, look. She spins, Glock up in a flash, crack. The shot grazes the guy's shoulder, syringe clattering. Agents tackle him, pinning his face to the tile as he spits. You're all dead. You don't know who you're messing with. Lisa collapses, sobbing. They were gonna kill me, after everything I gave them. The feds cuff the hitman, but the hits keep coming. In D.C., Senator Phillips bolts for Reagan National. Private jet idling. FBI cuts him off on the tarmac, tires squealing, guns drawn. Hands up, Senator. An agent bellows. Phillips freezes. Burner phone slipping from his hand. Crack screen shows a half-cent text. Nuclear option, burn it all. Back in Pine Hollow, Sheriff Reynolds cracks under Mitchell's grilling. Tears streaking his bruised face. They'll kill my kids, he sobs. Last year I tried to quit, got photos of my granddaughters at school, knives drawn on M. The board owns us. Then the digital hammer drops. Station computers blink out. Screens go black. A cyber attack frying the network. They're wiping us. A tech shouts, slamming keys. Aisha's on her secure line. DOJ backups holding? A voice crackles back. Safe on our servers, they're too late. She smirks, grim. Good. Every move they make's more rope to hang 'em. The attack traces to a D.C. law firm, same one laundering the board's cash. Mitchell's eyes narrow. They're burning the house down, files, witnesses, everything. Across states, it's a desperate purge. Ohio precincts shred records, feds kick in doors, saving scraps. Texas judges flee, 2 caught at the border, passports stuffed with cash. In Pine Hollow, Clayton's office is a war zone. Agents bust in as he feeds a laptop into a shredder, screaming, "You'll never get it all." They drag him out, his $500 tie a noose around his neck. But not before snagging a half-fried drive. Emails about legacy targets and asset optimization. Mitchell holds it up, voice steel. Keep talking, Clayton. First one flips gets a deal. Malik watches the chaos, blood pounding. They're scared, Aisha, really scared. She nods, holstering her Glock. They should be. We've got their money trails. Their hit lists, every panic move's a confession. An agent rushes in, face pale. Judge Blackwood's dead, self-inflicted, office in Kentucky. Left a note. The board knows no mercy. Aisha's eyes harden. They're eating their own now. Good, makes our job easier. The station's a battlefield, smoke curls, glass crunches underfoot, feds scramble. Outside, news choppers circle. Beams cutting the dark, America's waking up to the war. The board's claws are slashing wild, but every strike exposes more names, more bodies, more billions. Malik grips Aisha's arm, voice low. They tried to kill me, Lisa, the evidence, they're running out of moves. She turns fierce. Then we finish it, bro. They want to fight? We'll give them hell. This isn't a retreat. Folks, it's a death rattle. The board's bleeding, and they're lashing out like cornered wolves. Stay tuned, the hunter's becoming the hunted, and it's about to get ugly. Dawn breaks over Pine Hollow, painting the shattered police station in streaks of gold and ash. The air's thick with smoke and triumph. America, this is what winning feels like. But it's only round one. Aisha Evans stands in the wreckage, her blazer singed from last night's bomb, eyes locked on a convoy of FBI vans hauling away the corrupt. Harrington, Voss, Clayton. Reynolds all cuffed, heads bowed, their empire in ruins. Malik's beside her, arm patched up, suit a blood-stained mess, but his jaw set, unbroken, unbowed. They've cracked the machine wide open. And the pieces are hitting the ground hard. The haul staggering, $72 million in seized assets, cars, homes, offshore accounts frozen overnight. Regional Resource Management stock craters, down 60% by sunrise, execs in handcuffs on live TV. Across 3 states, 47 arrests, cops, DAs, judges, paraded past news cameras like a perp walk from hell. Feds stormed 12 precincts, snagging laptops, burner phones, ledgers tying Pine Hollow to a dozen clones, each a mini fiefdom of frame-ups and payoffs. In D.C., Senator Phillips sits in a cell. His silk tie swapped for orange, cutting a deal to save his skin. The board's names, I'll give you everything. Back in Pine Hollow. The evidence room's a treasure trove, half-burned files from the blast spill secrets. 317 wrongful convictions, $19 million in stolen property, 63 suicides, now flagged as murders. Aisha's team moves fast, 57 cases reopened by noon, families weeping on courthouse steps as loved ones walk free. One man, Jamal Tate, 34, hugs his kids after 8 months on a fake drug rap. Malik's story broke his chains. You saved us, man, Jamal chokes out, gripping Malik's hand. Malik nods, throat tight. Not me-us. The airwaves explode, CNN, Fox, MSNBC reporters swarm Pine Hollow, choppers buzzing like vultures. Largest corruption bust in U.S. history, an anchor declares, cutting to Aisha at a podium. Her voice steel. This isn't just Pine Hollow, it's a wake-up call. We've ripped out a cancer, but the fight's not over. Protests flare nationwide, Atlanta, Chicago, L.A., signs screaming, justice now. And in the machine, Malik's face is everywhere, the spark that lit the fire, America's new folk hero, battered but standing tall. But victory's got teeth. At dusk, Malik's phone buzzes, an encrypted text. The board sends regards. Sleep light. Aisha's DOJ line lights up. Offshore accounts shift, $200 million vanishing into Swiss vaults. In Kentucky, a private prison exec boards a jet. FBI nabs him mid-flight, finding emails about Legacy Phase 3. Mitchell storms in, tossing a cracked USB onto the table. They're still moving new quotas. New towns. Blackwood's suicide note wasn't despair, it was a warning. The board never stops. The station hums of feds trace wires, flip witnesses. Reynolds sobs in a cell. They'll kill my family, I'll talk. Clayton's spilling too. Phillips wasn't the top, just the face. The board's got CEOs, senators, overseas muscle. Aisha's eyes meet Malik's, fierce but weary. We've got their money, their pawns, hundreds free because of you. But this. She taps the USB. This says they're reloading. Malik's voice is gravel. Then we hit harder. They came for me, I'm coming for them. Night falls and Pine Hollow's a ghost town. Cops gone, streets quiet, but the tension's electric. News vans multiply. Protesters chant louder, America's watching, cheering, demanding more. In Atlanta, Malik's office gets a call, another victim, free after a year, credits him, you're why I'm breathing, man. He hangs up, staring out at the skyline, Aisha at his side. We're winning, right? He asks, voice low. She grips his shoulder. Yeah, but they're not done bleeding us. Somewhere in D.C., a man in a penthouse watches the chaos, TV muted, Pine Hollow burning on screen. His phone rings, a voice like ice. Evans is a problem. Legacy's at risk, cut the head off. He smirks, lighting a cigar. They're loud, not smart. We've got moves they'll never see. But his hand trembles, the board's rattled, and the cracks are spreading. This is victory, folks, sweet, loud. And messy, but it's just the first punch. The war's alive and the board's swinging back. Don't blink, the next round's gonna hurt. The sun's barely up, but America's awake and roaring. Pine Hollow's ashes are still smoking, but the shockwaves are ripping through the nation like a freight train off the rails. Malik Evans, battered hero in a torn suit, stands at the epicenter. His arrest wasn't just a spark. It's a damn wildfire, burning down decades of silence. What started with cuffs on a Georgia highway has ignited a reckoning. Justice isn't just a word now, it's a battle cry echoing from coast to coast. By noon, Atlanta's streets are a sea of bodies, thousands marching, fists up, signs blazing, no more Pine Hollows, and in the machine. A mother, tears streaming, holds a photo of her son framed, jailed. Gone 5 years on a lie. Malik's why we're here, she shouts to a mic thrust her way. He showed us they can't hide anymore. In Chicago, protesters flood Michigan Avenue. Megaphones blaring, cops in riot gear shift uneasily as chants of justice now drown out traffic. LA's got freeway sit-ins, horns honk in solidarity, billboards flashing Malik's face. One man, one fight. Our voice. TV's a war zone, every channel's live. CNN cuts to Pine Hollow, where freed victims line up, 57 so far, hugging kids, wives, parents they thought they'd lost forever. Jamal Tate, eyes red, grips Malik on camera. 8 months in a cage, your story got me out, man. You're a king. Malik, voice rough, shakes his head. Not me, us. We're tearing this down together. MSNBC's got legal experts, former DAs, civil rights lawyers dissecting the bust. This is systemic, hundreds of towns, thousands of lives. Malik Evans cracked it wide open. Social media's ablaze, hashtag #MalikFights trends worldwide, 12 million tweets in 24 hours. A viral video hits, a black teen in Texas, free after a year on a fake charge. Sobbing into his mom's arms, caption, "Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Aisha." TikToks flooded, kids reenact the arrest, lawyers break down asset forfeiture scams. Old clips of Senator Phillips squirming resurface with captions like, "Caught red-handed." Instagram's a gallery of protest art, Malik's silhouette, fists breaking chains, captioned. One stop changed everything. But it's the stories pouring in that hit hardest. In Ohio, a mechanic 41 steps forward, car seized. Life gutted by a Pine Hollow clone in 22. They took my shop. My home, called me a dealer. I've got nothing left. His voice cracks on local news and the anchor's stunned silent. In Florida, a nurse 29 shows scars, beatings in custody after a routine stop. I was pregnant, lost the baby in that cell, she whispers, eyes hollow. Malik's why I'm talking now. The floodgates burst, hundreds, then thousands, call hotlines Aisha's DOJ sets up. Each tale a dagger, framed, robbed, broken by a system built to crush. Washington feels the heat, congressional hearings kick off, live-streamed, packed with fury. Aisha testifies, slamming a stack of files down. $72 million stolen, 317 innocents caged, 63 dead. This isn't a glitch, it's a design. We're dismantling it. Senators squirm, some tied to the board. Sweating under the glare. Protesters camp outside the Capitol, banners waving, no justice, no peace. The White House scrambles, the task force launches, vowing reform. But the crowd's roar says it's not enough. Back in Pine Hollow, Malik walks the quiet streets, ghost town now, news vans the only pulse. A kid, maybe 12, runs up. Shy, you're him, right? The guy who fought. Malik kneels, nods. Yeah, little man. You fight too, don't let him win. The kid grins, darting off, and Malik's hit with it. The weight of a nation shifting. Aisha joins him. Phone buzzing with DOJ updates, cases doubling, 500 reopened. You're a symbol now, bro. He stares at the horizon, voice low. Symbols not enough, they're still out there. Night falls, and Times Square lights up, a jumbotron blares. Malik Evans, the face of change. Crowds cheer, horns blare, but the message sinks in. This isn't over. The board's quiet, too quiet, and every freed soul, every protest, Every hashtag is a brick in a wall they'll try to smash. America's shaking, folks. Malik's fight's gone viral. And the people are all in. But the war's got teeth and they're sharpening. Stay with us, this movement's alive and it's about to roar louder. The night's heavy in Atlanta, the city's skyline a jagged glow against a moonless sky. Malik Evans sits in his high-rise office. 20 floors up, glass walls reflecting a man who's become more than he ever planned. The protests still hum below, horns and chants a distant roar, but he's alone, staring at a cracked photo. Him and Aisha, kids laughing in a backyard, a lifetime ago. His arms healing, his suit swapped for a hoodie, but the fire in his gut burns hotter than ever. Pine Hollow's down, 47 arrests. 500 cases reopened, a nation awake, but the quiet feels wrong, like the calm before a storm. His phone buzzes, a Geneva number, untraceable. He answers, voice steal, who's this? A voice slithers through, cold, accented. The board sends its regards, Mr. Evans. You've been inconvenient. Malik's pulse kicks up. Come get me then, I'm right here. The line clicks dead. And the room shifts, too still, too silent. Then it happens. A whomp shakes the building, glass exploding inward as a smoke bomb tears through the window. Shards rain, cutting his cheek, he dives, rolling behind his desk as gray haze chokes the air. Alarms scream, sprinklers drench him. Someone's just tried to take him out. Footsteps pound. Agent Jackson, FBI detail, bursts in, Glock drawn. Malik move. He yanks him up, shoving him toward the hall as smoke swirls. Bomb squad's en route. Go, go. They sprint, glass crunching underfoot, elevator's dead, stairs it is. Halfway down. Malik's phone lights up. Aisha, voice tight. You hit? Tell me you're alive. He gasps, lungs burning. Yeah, smoke bomb, 20th floor. They're coming for us. Her replies a growl. Stay with Jackson. I'm locking this down. Outside, chaos reigns, fire trucks wail, news choppers swarm. Crowds gawk as smoke billows from Malik's office. Jackson shoves him into an SUV. Tires screeching as they peel out. Boards flexing. Jackson mutters, eyes scanning mirrors. Chatters up. Private jets moving, cash shifting. Malik wipes blood from his face, voice low. They're scared good. Means we're close. Jackson nods grim. Or they're done playing nice. In D.C., Aisha's a hurricane, DOJ war room, maps glowing, agents shouting courts. She slams a fist on the table. Geneva call, Atlanta hit. Track it, now. A tech pipes up. $500 million moved, Zurich, Dubai, shell accounts. Legacy's alive, they're prepping something big. Another screen flashes, CCTV from Malik's building. A drone, sleek, military-grade, dropping the bomb. Not amateurs, Mitchell says, voice hard. This is war-level tech. Aisha's eyes blaze. Then we fight like it. Malik's alive, they missed. Next time, we hit first. Back in Atlanta, Malik's safe house hums, feds guard the doors, radios crackle. He stares at the TV, his office smolders on CNN, ticker screaming, Evans targeted in bold attack. Jackson hands him coffee, grim. You're a ghost now, off-grid till we nail M. Malik shakes his head. No hiding, I'm in this. They want me dead? They'll see me coming. His phone buzzes again, unknown number, a photo, Aisha's DC office, crosshairs on her window. Text. Both of you or neither. Choose. He grips the phone, knuckles white. They're doubling down. Aisha's chopper lifts off, destination Atlanta. ETA 90 minutes. She's on a secure line, voice fierce. Malik, we've got names, board execs, 6 confirmed. Phillips flipped, they're in London, Zurich, Moscow. Legacy's global, we're chasing it. He cuts in, they hit me, threatened you, this ends with us. Together. She pauses, soft for a second. Always, bro. We started this, we finish it. Across the Atlantic, a penthouse glows, London, Thames glinting below. A man in a bespoke suit, cigar lit. Watches the Atlanta feed, smoke curling from Malik's tower. His aide steps in, voice low. Sir, the drone failed, Evans survived. The man exhales, slow smoke coiling. Pity. Phase 3's locked, new towns, new quotas. They've won a battle, war's ours. He taps a screen, maps of 20 U.S. cities, red dots pulsing. Legacy's next targets. Send the order, neutralize them both. Quietly. Malik stands at the safe house window. Atlanta's skyline a war zone in his mind. Jackson's radio crackles, DOJ alert. Board assets moving, strike teams detected. U.S. soil. Malik turns. Ice hard. They're not stopping, are they? Jackson shakes his head. Not till you're gone, or they are. Aisha's chopper cuts the night, blades a war drum. He knows she's coming. And they'll face this fire together. This isn't the end, America. It's the edge. Malik and Aisha are targets, warriors, unbreakable. But the board's claws are out and they're global now. The fight's just gone nuclear. And the next move's anyone's guess. Don't look away, the finale's brewing. And it's gonna be a hell of a ride. So here we are, America, Malik Evans and Aisha Evans, battered but standing, staring down a shadowy board that's got more tricks up its sleeve than a Vegas magician. Smoke still curling from Malik's office, Aisha's chopper's cutting the sky. And the board's plotting in some swanky London penthouse, probably sipping $500 whiskey while they figure out how to bury our heroes. But let's hit pause on the explosions and drones for a sec. Because this isn't just their story, it's ours. Think about it. Pine Hollow's not some fictional nowhere, it's every shady speed trap. Every rigged system you've ever muttered about on your morning commute. Malik's arrest? That's the time you got a ticket for rolling a stop in a town you'd never heard of, or worse. Watched a friend get screwed by a game they couldn't win. Aisha's war? That's every headline about corruption you've scrolled past on X, shaking your head, thinking, somebody's gotta do something. Well, somebody did, and it started with one guy saying, not today. Here's the lesson, served with a grin. Life's a highway, and yeah, it's got potholes, crooked cops. And a few too many toll booths run by suits who'd sell your grandma for a profit. But Malik and Aisha? They're proof you don't just grip the wheel and grumble, you slam the gas and fight back. So next time you're stuck behind a slowpoke in the left lane or overpaying for gas in a nowhere town, channel your inner Evans, because if they can take on the board, you can handle Karen from HR or that shady mechanic who fixed your car for $800. What's the takeaway? Justice isn't a gift, it's a brawl. And in 2025, with cameras on every corner and X lighting up every scandal, we've all got a shot to throw a punch. So here's my question, folks. What's your Pine Hollow? That one injustice you've seen, lived, or just can't shake? What's the fight you'd call Aisha for? Drop it in the comments, hit me with your stories. Let's get this convo rolling, because this tale's not done till you're in it. Oh, and one last thing, don't ghost us now. Hit that subscribe button harder than Aisha hit that cell door. Malik and the board aren't finished, and we've got more stories coming, crooks, heroes, and maybe a few more explosions. You won't want to miss what's next, trust me, because if this ride taught us anything, it's that the good guys don't quit, and neither should you. See you in the next one, America. Stay loud, stay fighting.